Gianluigi Donnarumma to Manchester United. Really?
Or possibly, Mike. There is interest there, and it certainly interested Manchester United supporters when we broke that news a few hours ago. Why? Because he's a fantastic goalkeeper, a Champions League winner, a really, really impressive goalkeeper. Would he elevate Manchester United? You'd probably say yes. It's not gone really well for Andre Onana over the last couple of years. Now, why are Manchester United interested? Well, Donnarumma's entered the final year of his contract, but PSG are also close to signing a new keeper, Lille's Lucas Chevalier. But there is talk that he might want to stay and actually fight for that #1 spot. So there's no guarantees he'll be going to Manchester United. It is interest just for now, but very, very interesting. Well, we find it very interesting when that came through this afternoon because, of course, he really is some goalkeeper.
Benjamin Šeško is really open to joining Manchester United even without European football, even without Champions League football. So Šeško is very open to the conversation with Manchester United. Now the conversation between United and Šeško is entering into details of the project, of the vision, what they want to do. So not only financial details, because Man United are talking to Red Bull Leipzig and Man United are talking to the agent, but also the project. So Man United are entering into details of the vision they have for Benjamin Šeško, and the player is open to the move. Then Benjamin Šeško is also talking to Newcastle, because as I told you, Newcastle are prepared to pay whatever they want. Leipzig and Šeško. Of course, whatever they want, I don't mean that they can pay anything, but what's needed? So the price tag from Leipzig, Newcastle are ready to pay. The salary wanted by Šeško, Newcastle are ready to pay. So if Šeško decides to go to Newcastle, play Champions League football, be the superstar, Šeško in that case would be ready to go because Newcastle are ready to pay. But Šeško is also considering Man United. As I told you yesterday, Šeško is not deciding today, I told you yesterday. He's not deciding tomorrow, I keep repeating now. So it's going to take some days, not too long, but some days for Šeško to decide. Man United feel that the player is open to having this conversation, to discussing about the project, the vision. And so Šeško, Man United is something that is absolutely concrete. That's the point, that's the story as of now. Then guys, on Rasmus Hojlund, you remember probably, I did a video a few weeks ago, when we had many rumors on Hojlund. But at the moment, Rasmus Hojlund keeps repeating, also after scoring in a friendly game against Bournemouth in the last 24 hours, Hojlund says, I want to stay, I want to fight for my place, I'm staying at Manchester United, I'm ready for the competition, I'm not scared. So this is the position of the player. But this is the position of the player also because I can guarantee to you, till today, end of July, no one from Manchester United, management, director, manager, staff, whoever, no one went and told the player, you have to go, we want to sell you. No one from Man United told Hojlund, you're out of the project. So Hojlund at the moment feels comfortable, wants to stay at United, and wants to fight for the place at Manchester United. Then if Man United will go strong and say, okay, we need to sell, we will see. But at the moment, the situation for Hojlund is that the player wants to stay, and his dream is still to succeed at Manchester United. Then Chelsea and Alejandro Garnacho. I'm not changing my mind. I've been telling you for weeks that Chelsea are interested in Garnacho, that Garnacho wants to stay in the Premier League, that despite links with Italian, Saudi and more clubs, also Bayer Leverkusen, the focus of Garnacho is Premier League. Garnacho wants to continue in Premier League and Chelsea are there. Chelsea are interested in Garnacho. Chelsea made some contact to be informed of the situation of the player. Then it's going to be also, obviously, a topic of valuations between Chelsea and Manchester United, but Garnacho remains a strong topic internally at Chelsea. A name being mentioned on a daily basis internally at the club, and Alejandro Garnacho is a serious possibility for Chelsea this summer. This is not something new, but something I want to repeat, because there are many stories on, sometimes people say the concerns on the attitude of Garnacho, or maybe doubts on the price, or the salary, or many other things. Chelsea are quite convinced about Garnacho being a good opportunity. Now the point is going to be how much Manchester United want, and also for Chelsea, now in this moment, is really important to focus also on the outcome.
Manchester United's Rasmus Hojlund has vowed to fight for his future at Old Trafford after the club made Benjamin Šeško their top transfer target if they bring in a striker. Hojlund scored United's opening goal in their 4-1 friendly win over Bournemouth last night, but has struggled since a £72 million move from Atalanta in 2023. We reported earlier this month that AC Milan were exploring a deal. Well, after that Bournemouth friendly, Hojlund said, I think the most important thing for me is just to keep working hard and stay focused, and then obviously we'll see what happens. I think my plan is very clear, and that is for me to stay and fight for my spot, whatever happens. Competition is fine with me, it sharpens me, I'm more than ready, I'm feeling sharp, so I'm welcoming everything that comes. I think it's good with competition and it only sharpens the team.
Manchester United are also keen on Sesko, and they've had their fingers burned a number of times already this summer. By my last count, round about 8 players they've gone for and have chosen to go elsewhere. So they keep losing out to other clubs, big clubs of course. They've already lost out to Manchester United for Brian and Bumo, and I think it'd be a really difficult one for them to take if they were to lose out on Sesko as well. And you think if they were to lose Sesko to Manchester United, that would then have ramifications in terms of what they do with Alexander Isak, because there is no way Newcastle United would even consider allowing Alexander Isak to leave if they don't have a replacement and a top-end replacement lined up to come in and replace him. So look, it's going to be a really interesting couple of weeks. As I say, I don't think it's going to go right on until the end of the window, but I feel as though we're going to get a little bit more on this next week once Isak returns, Newcastle return, and they can all sit down and speak to
Gianluigi Donnarumma has 1 year left on his PSG contract, and Man United are interested in bringing him to Old Trafford. Champions League winners are close to signing Lille's Lucas Chevalier. Current United keeper Andre Onana under pressure after errors. Donnarumma has entered the final year of his contract, and PSG are close to signing a new keeper in Lille's Lucas Chevalier. The Italy international is in no rush to make a decision over his future and is willing to compete with Chevalier for the #1 spot. It is still a possibility that he stays with the Champions League winners beyond this summer. However, United's interest throws the future of Andre Onana into doubt. The Cameroon international is with the squad in the United States, but is currently sidelined with a hamstring injury.